fun. Like it's funny because, you know, I kind of think about like when I listen to some of my lyrics, it's very like Dr. Seuss or something, you know, just because of the meter of it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so to me, it's like a fun challenge. And for a long time, it wasn't really like a fun challenge. It was kind of a annoying almost. Like I'm like, I got this killer song, but now I got to put words to it, right?
Oh wow,
But
yeah.
it's like kind of a pain in the butt. But like, you know, when I was really young, like I don't know, man, like stuff just flowed out of me like very easily. Like it was just boom, I could just fill up notebooks of poetry just endlessly, man. But then as I've gotten older, it's a little bit more difficult. But I think that's because I'm harder on myself now. I think
Mm,
there's less like freedom with it. I'm very kind of a little bit more hard on myself um, with it. But there's a couple different things that help me when I get stuck. Is like remembering that lyrics, you know, poetry. It's basically what it is poetry, right? Like
right.
lyrics can come from anything, right? Like everywhere. So for me, it's like I love movies. I love books. So what I'll do is I'll sit like I'll pick out my favorite movie, right, or like a list of 10 of my favorite movies, right, and then I'll sit down, you know, and you know keep a notebook right next to me, and just watch the movie with the notebook, and then whatever thoughts come to my mind, maybe there's a color, maybe there's a character's name, maybe there's a you know just whatever inspiration comes from watching that, I'll just write it down, man. um, and it's actually pretty powerful, dude. Like it works pretty good. You know, it's a good catalyst, right? Or
Hmm.
even like something that I guess William Burroughs used to do, and then it inspired David Bowie. David Bowie is one of my favorite lyricists.
Oh wow, yeah,
Um,
that was awesome.
yeah, and something he used to do would be like, you know, take like a journal, something that he wrote, or even a newspaper or whatever, and like cut up phrases and sentences out of it, cut up the words, cut up the whole thing, and then throw it in a hat and like mix it around and then relay it out like on the floor. And you'd be amazed at like the weird stuff that, you know, that comes out, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think, you know, for me, inspiration can come from anywhere. And typically like, you know, if I, you know, it's easier for me to write if I'm in a bad mood, right? Like, or not bad mood, but if something has happened or I'm feeling like something's not right, whether it's not right with myself, not right with a relationship with somebody, not right with the world. Like, if something ain't right, then it's
Hmm.
like I feel this urgency to speak it, right? To like sort of get it out of me, right? Those
Yeah.
feelings or whatever that is. And right now, there's a lot going on, so it's you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. It's cathartic for sure. So
yeah.
so what's the future looking like for Immerser? Like, well, before I go there, I meant to ask you first. Favorite song that you've written. What is your favorite song? I know and people hate when I ask that question,
Yeah,
especially
dude.
it's such a hard question to answer. But because by the time you're finished with the song and you finish laying the tracks and you finish doing the recording, at that moment that song becomes your favorite song because
Yeah.
you spent so much time on it. But if you go back in your Rolodex of songs from the time you were 10 years old, starting your first band,
It's like 1,000 songs, man.
I
Like I,
know, man. But what's the song that you absolutely treasure?
God, dude, I mean, I can't. There's just no way. Like I love it's like just trying to pick a child, bro. Like,
Right? I
you know,
Yeah,
um,
I get it.
I don't
I
know, dude. You know, I can't even, I mean, I couldn't answer that, bro. I think like it's just impossible. I mean, how do I answer to answer that?
no, no, no. That's the way you answered it right now is an answer also, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I think that speaks to your the actual passion that you have behind each song that you've been involved with and that you've written and that you've played on. Because yeah, you're 100% correct, and you summed it up perfectly. It's like picking your favorite child.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's impossible. I know that I love them equally in their own way. They're all the best to me. So No, don't make me answer that. I totally get it. I absolutely get it. I ask that question to people on purpose just to see where they are and the passion of it all, because people will actually answer that differently
Huh.
depending on where they are with their art. And it's actually like it's a process. It's an evolution. Because at one point they'll look back and say, "Well, yeah, I wrote a song when I was 15, and that's my favorite song, and it'll always be my favorite song." 10 years down the line, after has lifed you to death almost, and things have happened, you look back on your catalog and you're like, "Yeah, that was my favorite song at one point, but I went through heartache, I went through pain. Then I was on top of the mountain, so things change, and it's impossible to have that one favorite song that you've done yourself." So I wrote when I was younger. I had a binder full of songs that I had written, and I started trying to memorize all of them. I was taking myself through a practice of memorizing all of them. And this was a time where nobody really knew that I sang or I could write at all. And I went off to basic training at AIT after I joined the Army. And I came back and I was looking for, it was a blue binder. I was looking for it and I was like, "Ma, where's my binder? That was one of the first things I wanted to get back to." And she was like, "Oh, I threw that away."
Oh man,
Oh, absolutely crushed, man.
that's
I,
horrible.
I wanted to cry, but I don't think she would have. What are you crying for?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I have a notebook that I carry around with me, and I won't let anybody get to it. I have to make sure I maintain it. But yeah, it's just like a child. They are your music, your songs, your lyrics. They're all precious diadems to absolute. That's great. That was a great answer. All right, so the future of Immerser, right? And you already said you're going to be putting out a volume two. What else do you have in store? Any venues you want to try and get to and play, or
Uh,
anything you're trying to pick up?
I'm not, like as far as playing live and stuff like that, like I'm kind of not really like, I mean, I'll do it, but I'm just not, it's not something I want to do anymore, really. Like, unless it's an amazing opportunity or something. Like, it's so much work,
Mm,
like I said, I've been performing since I was 10 years old, so
yeah.
it's kind of like, but as far as music, like writing and creating goes, like that'll never stop. You know what I mean? I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. So right
Yeah.
now I'm taking a little break right now, just kind of resetting and like absorbing again, right? Because it's like a sponge, right? Like it can only absorb so much, and then it has to let it
Mm,
out, and then I need to absorb again. So right now I'm just kind of just jamming on my guitar, just kind of letting things be, like whatever comes to me, keeping those notebooks going, writing stuff. Um, I do have I worked on a song for a hip hop artist named V Boy recently. That's a pretty cool little collaboration that should be coming out pretty soon. And then I've got I kind of wanted to do something with you, like in the near future, because I know you've got a great voice. You've got a great R&B voice.
oh man, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know that we kind of talked about maybe doing something at some point. Like, I think that would be amazing, man, to have like kind of the grunge sort of
Yeah.
rock, but with that R&B sort of vocal influence on it, and just see what happens. Like, um, it's like just yeah, awesome. It'd be like Luther Vandross meets Stone Temple Pilots or something.
That would be wicked for sure.
It'd just
That's
be different, So like I'm kind of looking forward to that, bro. So like that would be something kind of fun, But I like right now I don't really have like, you know, I mean I have plans, I have ideas, but the way I live my life is very much kind of, I have life goals, I have things I'm sort of working towards, where I want to be in a certain amount of time or whatever. But I tend to just kind of follow my heart. You know what I mean? I kind of just tend to just live in the moment and sort of, maybe tomorrow morning I'll wake up and be like, oh, it's time to write a new album, and I'll just write a whole album, or maybe not. Maybe it'll be months or years or who knows, right? But I just honestly just want to be, want to just be happy, dude. Like, and sometimes just playing guitar without any pressure to write something amazing or You know, sometimes I just want to play the blues or something. Like I've
Yeah.
been really getting into like her name's Susan Tedeschi. She's in the Tedeschi Trucks band. It's like this really killer blues band. And so I've been trying to kind of lean more bluesy on my guitar playing. So, you
Yeah.
know, maybe at some point I'll just put out like a blues thing or something. Maybe we could do that, bro. Maybe we could do like a, you know, like an EP, like a 5 song little blues,
Yeah.
rock blues album or something, bro. Like I'd be down to do that because I'm kind of moving in that direction. So I just
All
don't want to, yeah, I'm kind of blabbering now.
No, that's fine. That's fine because like we would definitely collab on something, and that's going to be something a little new for the audience on the family bloodline because I've not really mentioned that I sing.
Did I just blow your cover, dude?
Oh
I'm
no, not
sorry.
at all, not at all, not at all. That's great.
Okay.
It's great because I definitely want to make sure we lay some tracks together, man. I absolutely appreciate your style of play. Being just a fan of music all around, just about every genre except for bluegrass country. I can't get into bluegrass country, man. But
Every man has his limits.
yeah, yeah, and that's mine for
Yeah,
sure.
dude, I get it.
But again, just loving the reminiscent blended grunge and metal sounds that you carry in your music. I think is great, and I'd love to get on a track and sing with you over something like that. That'd be stellar.
Let's
And
do
maybe
it.
you never know, I might even lay a drum track down for you
Let's do it.
because that'll be dope too, man. Yeah, we definitely got to do that. We definitely have to do that. So being at home, artisting at home, and I think that goes back and it speaks to what you were talking about when we first started talking about this, and that was getting back to foundation,
Mhm.
getting back to self and becoming centered again, right? It's that point in a circle, right? Just
Right.
getting back to that, rediscovering yourself. Uh, and the best part about uh, something that I'll echo that you said, the music is you have time to get back to it. You don't have to feel pressured or stressed to write a song, especially as an actual artist, somebody who's putting this out themselves, an independent artist. You don't have to feel that. And that generally speaking, that's where the best music can come from when it has time to kind of marinate, to relax, and be able to be expressed properly by the presenter, right? And a little something that you were talking about when you were saying how you write your lyrics. My process is, and I told this to another artist not too long ago, is I listen to the track and I let the music tell me what it wants to say, and I try to hone in on what the music is trying to say. And you just the way you described it was that subconscious listening to it over and over and actually hearing what the music is saying and trying to actually capture that in lyric form. So I agree with you on that also. That's a great process. That's a great process, brother. It really, really is. And I hope you don't stop your movement of music ever. Uh, keep pushing forward with it whenever it's time to. I'm here for it. You'll always have a fan with me. I think your music's great. So with that being said, we do something on the family bloodline called Final Thoughts. And Final Thoughts is exactly what that is. It doesn't have to have anything to do with anything we talked about as far as music. It could be something that you just want to express to the country, to the world, to our craft, because we mentioned Freemasonry earlier, as well as other various different groups, right? So whatever you'd like to say for your final thoughts, by all means, these are your final thoughts, my friend.
Wow. Kind of put me on the spot there. Final thoughts. Uh, I think there's a quote. I can't quite remember the quote like perfectly, but this is kind of fitting. Uh, Everyone in your life is a teacher, even your enemies.
Mm, mm.
That's
I
it.
like I like that. I like that a lot. That's good. That's good. That's much appreciated.
I got one more actually.
Let's do it.
All
Keep it.
right, all right. I like these riddles, right? Um, how about the greatest weapon of all is forgiveness.
Huh. I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to write that one down. Give me 1 second. That's good. That might end up in a song that we write together.
There you go, dude. The greatest weapon of all by John and James. St. John, St. James.
There you go. That's good. I like that. That's been written. That's going in a song.
Good, bro.
I appreciate that. So with that being said, my brother, I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I don't want to get off of here without saying I miss you and I love you and the family. We've got to catch up more often, more frequently. Too much time has passed, and there's too much happening, too much good to let good people go, move away from us. Right? I think at this point in life, we do better by pulling the good people that we know closer, right? As much as possible. So, yeah. With that being said, as I always state on all the podcasts that we do, everybody that's watching us, y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to hang out with John and myself today. We thank you for it. God bless and